Ever since I was a young cardist, I heard this rumor and this legend that if you use different kinds of ink on your paper, it causes the cards to feel different. And I don't know if that's true. In fact, I don't really believe that's true. However, that begs the question, can we prove how much difference there is between different types of inks? Luckily, earlier last week, Paul sent me some cards. And in that collection of 10 decks of playing cards, we have 2 that are almost identical. The only difference that they have is one version of it was red and one was blue. Of course, I am talking about the 7-Eleven slushy deck of playing cards. Slushy? No. Slurpee deck of playing cards. If you're as curious as I am, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment in the comment section below telling me your theories as to whether or not the ink is actually going to make a difference. Alright, without further ado, let's get to our research area. Hello, welcome to the research studio. So as I mentioned just now, we're going to be looking at this bicycle Slurpee 7-Eleven version of the deck of playing cards. These cards come in red and blue, of which they both tell you don't forget to pick up a blue deck, don't forget to pick up a red deck. Marketing at its absolute finest. We also have over here the weighing scale that we've been using. It's not turned on yet, we'll use it later, as well as the vernier caliper, which will tell us the thickness of the playing cards. Alright, let's open up this red one. Knowing USPCC, the seal on this is probably not particularly good. I swear I am not doing this on purpose. You can see the half moon cutout here, but I'm even damaging the box underneath it, but the half moon cutout is just not coming up. This is what the front of the box looks like. You can see the details on it, very pretty. Up here on the words bicycle, there's an embossing. On the opposite side, it says that this is a 2020 collector's edition. Here you can see some damage. Here you can see some mysterious damage. And if we use our thumbs, we can sort of cut through it really nicely. I was gonna say that the box feels like normal bicycles, but it actually doesn't. The material that's being used on this feels very soft. Maybe you can see it. It's a little bit on the soft side. Very interesting. You know how when you laminate something it feels a little bit plasticky? It makes this deck of playing cards feel a little bit on the cheaper side. Very weird. Here we have one joker like this, one joker like this, and we have an ad card. This is for 1 free 7 select pegged candy bag. Pegged? You guys know what pegging is, right? You can also get 1 free small Slurpee if you present this coupon. Here's an ace of spades. It has some trivia written down there. 2 of spades to the jack of spades. Huh, it's not actually USPCC's typical black color. Very surprising. You can pause the video and read the cards if you want to. But looking at these cards really quickly right now, you can see that actually the ace of hearts has begun to warp right here, whereas the spades, clubs and diamonds has not, which is pretty surprising because it hasn't been that long since the cards are out of the box. You can see the warping here. I guess it's because of Singapore's weather that it's really high humidity. Hopefully if you're buying this in the US, you don't have this same problem. Now if we move on to the backs of the cards, it's a very fun drink. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Sprite, 7-Up. You know, one of those like fizzy drinks that they always have like the top down shot and then psh, all the drink droplets come out from the middle, and then one mascot character comes out like, yeah, have a good drink. Might be good for cardistry, might not be, but we'll see. If we take half the deck and flip it around like this, you can see right from the edges of the cards that this is a one-way back design. The cards are not the same when you rotate them. Holding this deck of playing cards in my hand, I'm gonna make a guess that this deck of playing cards weighs about 85 grams, 86 grams, somewhere between 85 and 86 grams. Let's give it a check. I can't read the thing. Okay, here we go. Toss it here. 85.11 grams. Pretty close. And if we look at the thickness of the cards, let's pull this out. You know what? Before I actually measure it, let me tell you what the number is. 1.55 centimeters. 1.54, 1.55 centimeters. Let's give that a try. Tighten this bolt right here. Slide this out. And then we look here. 1.5, and then we look for the number that matches up the best. 1.535 centimeters of thickness. So not quite 1.54, but 1.535 centimeters of thickness. The cards feel great for fanning, and the edges feel a little bit on the edges feel a little bit on the rough side, but not too rough to the point of it being uncomfortable. In a fan, this is what the cards look like when they are flipped half face up and half face down. And the springiness of the cards, pretty good. I want to compare this deck of playing cards against this deck of playing cards, because basically the stock and finish of the cards is going to be completely the same. Assuming the rumors about how different ink colors can affect the different experience of your card handling of your cards, I think this would be the perfect time to test it, because the whole back here is all red, and even though the design of these cards probably is going to be exactly the same, instead of red it's going to be blue. So a lot of red versus a lot of blue. Cellophane, are you going to work on the first try this time? Oop! It didn't work as intended, because this half circle was supposed to come up, but the cellophane broke and we have a much better experience this time. Good. Cut that open. The blue one actually feels a bit stiffer than the red one, but it could be because I've been flexing this so many times to test it. Yeah, it's basically that. We have, instead of the brown looking jokers, we have a bluish one and a colored blue one. Comparing the blue versions of the jokers against the red versions of the jokers, I would say I prefer the red ones a little bit more. They just pop out a little bit nicer, and the blue one looks like a blend of mess. If you look at the corner right here though, you can see that this blue here actually transitions into what looks like purple. There's a little bit of customization right there. If you look right here, that's just a flat brown. Actually makes me quite happy. I like how this part of the card looks, and I like how this color scheme looks. If you want to get packed, you can get this one, and if you are into small Slurpees, this is for you. Once again, feel free to scan these cards. So holding this deck of cards in my hands, yeah, I don't think there's a difference. It's pretty much the same. This deck of cards weighs 84.96 grams, whereas this other deck of playing cards weighs 85.16 grams. The difference is very, very minuscule, which could be a natural production related difference. Like, you know how they, by cutting it just ever so slightly too far this way or too far that way, it might have led to the weight difference. Or alternatively, it could be that red ink is heavier than blue ink. Maybe. Once again, the previous thickness of the cards was about 1.54 centimeters. Now, without shuffling these cards, I'm gonna just tighten it a little bit. 1.535. It's exactly the same thickness, and it's pretty much exactly the same weight. Slightly less than 1% difference in the weight. How about fanning? How does this fan? Okay. It fans not bad, but it's not perfect. And if we compare it to this one, Oh, it's distracting that these are half face up and half face down. The red versions of the cards fans pretty good, right? You can see it right there. One more time, let's give it another fan. Whoa, when you fan it this direction, the image becomes much more fireball looking. But when you fan it the other direction, it becomes more of like a single yellow moon going across the night sky. The same would probably go for this deck of playing cards. It seems like the red deck actually fans slightly better than the blue deck. Sure, there's some imperfections here and there, but it feels to me like the red cards seem to fan just ever so slightly smoother, ever so slightly like nicer in the hands. One more time, if you look at blue ones. Oh my gosh, I just saw something. Look at this card. Look at the color of this card. Look at the color of the next card beside it and the one before it. Notice how the blue on this card actually looks slightly different than this blue right here. That's not good. Wait, how is that possible? How can a single... Am I seeing things? Is it the lighting? This is closer to purple and this is closer to a flat denim blue-ish. They're very close, yes, but it's not exactly the same. How is this happening within one print run? What the heck? Also, if you look very closely, you can actually see that you see a sharpness on the text right here. I don't know how close the camera can go, but if you look at the sharpness on the text right here, the printing is actually a little bit on the soft side. It's not perfectly sharp. It's a little bit fuzzy looking. Alright guys, so there you have it. That was our quick look at the Slurpee deck of playing cards by 7-Eleven and USPCC. Once again, the deck of playing cards weighs about 84.5 to 85.5 grams and the thickness of the deck is about 1.54 centimeters, which makes this deck of playing cards quite close to a normal bicycle deck of playing cards. Even though our deck reviews are trying to get as scientific as possible by using numbers and stuff, I can't quite shake off the feeling that this deck of playing cards, because of the way it looks, makes it feel not quite as good as a normal bicycle deck of playing cards. And because of that, I'm gonna give these decks of playing cards a score of 3 out of 10. But the difference between these two decks of cards is that the red ones make me red with rage and the blue ones just give me blue balls. Until next time, I'm your online brother Jaspas Deck. Thank you guys very much for watching and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye! 3 upon 10.